So check this out. This is a machine that I built over the last year. I still am adding a remote spindle onto what would be the Z of the mill turn, but I'm going to duplex my B axis to where it'll go from, like, say 15 degrees, forward to 90 degrees down. So then it becomes a Z and a Y axis, along with then the carriage will then be the X axis, and then what would be the, I guess, Z of the lathe would become the Z of the mill. Now I'm duplexing the C axes. So this is C1, this is C2. I'm using M10 and M11 to swap between the two. And this is one of the programs that I run on it. I like to do a lot of plunge turning on this because it removes the material so fast. What I'm making are these little, I call them balls on sticks. What I'm ending up doing is making these little ball lock swivels. These end up getting threaded 1/4-20, and then you pair them up and you use them for holding propane torches or lights or cameras, or in my case, I'm actually making a couple extra for me. I'll be adding a camera to my actor tool and cutter grinder, so that I'm not having to go around the back of the machine in order to look at how the grind is going. So I thought I'd show you one of the things that I do when I'm not working on hand stuff. So I think this takes right at 3 minutes to turn. But pretty cool product, and I run like a 4-foot length through the spindle to where you only have just the tail of it when you have run all the parts. So what I'm doing here is it turns all of the profile of the ball and then a little bit of the first straight with the taper. And then it's going to go back. I think it's got one more plunge. And it'll go back and do the first profile of the ball. And I do 2 spring passes. So this is the first one that really takes the shape of the ball. So I'm going from, using the left side of the cutting tool to the right side of the cutting tool. So you end up having to take the program and then you offset the diameter of the ball by the 3 millimeters of the parting tool. And this is the second spring pass. This one only takes off like 10 thousandths. So a kind of cool program. There isn't much that I could, aside from running the machine faster, that you could do to make it all cut faster, but kind of neat. So then back to the left side of the cutting tool from the right. And then now it'll go back to doing the 3/8 diameter straight section. 4 or 5 plunges, and then it'll go and clean that part up. And then it'll do the 1/4 inch diameter and then part it off. Now with this machine, I could, if I wanted to do everything in one go, I could turn the part around, put a die into one of the tailstock pieces, and then have it switch to the powered A axis, and I could power thread the 1/4-20 on and then go and turn it. Which I might eventually do, but the thing is, this program runs so well. Once you get something that runs consistently and reliably every time you do it, it makes a good part. You really don't want to screw with that too much. So this is the second spring pass on the 3/8 diameter, and now it's going to go boop, just in for a 1/4 inch. And it does 3 or 4 of these plunges down to a 1/4, and then it'll do 2 spring passes and then apart. So a kind of a neat machine. I picked this up for less than $100, probably 15 years ago, from a guy a couple towns south of me, and you know, it was just destined for scrap. But you know, the bed and the ways were all still solid, and the spindle didn't make a bunch of noise. So I'm like, man, I could do something out of this. So I currently am running it on a 6-axis controller, but I'm duplexing the B-axis and the C-axis. And now for the part. There it is. And then the machine turns off. So if I was going to run another one, you'd loosen the chuck and then run this right up against the tool, tighten the chuck back up, and push go again. Right on. Well, let me know what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching.